some additional questions. So with that, we'll go ahead and take Coach's opening statement.
Well, this is a pretty remarkable win, considering where we were at in the first half, to get back to where we wanted to be and a chance to close it out at the regulation and not doing so. Still made some plays in the overtime to get it done. I think I remember telling somebody early in the year, and media people and people were asking about the league. I know all along I've always said I think Kansas City is going to be one of the best teams in the league. We have so many players in the junior and senior class, so much talent in those groups, and they're just an awfully good team. Kansas has done a wonderful job there over the years of bringing them to the point where they're certainly going to be one of the best in the league. JD and Austin have done really well at IUPUI and Western, so the future of the league is very, very good. A couple people have asked me about if this one feels any different, or having 4 in a row, what does that mean? It just feels like the first one. It really does. It's just really exciting. It's different every year because you have different players, different circumstances, different things that you go through. So it feels like a very new experience, and I'm excited for our program, all the fans, and that chance to be there.
Questions for the student athletes starting in the second row.
Brian, you say start. Jenny, can you talk about, you guys came back from a big deficit in that game at Kansas City. Combined with the crowd, do you feel like that gave you guys a swagger and the ability to come back?
You know, it definitely helped. I feel like our fans are our sixth man, and you know, it helped. We got a few buckets at the end of the first half. You know, we were still down, but it still gave us a better run, gave us better confidence, and you know, it just they created an energy for us that's kind of indescribable. You know, our fans have been there throughout the entire year, and they, like I said, they're our sixth man, and it's just fun to play in front of that kind of crowd.
Second row, Terry.
Terry Vanderbeek, the Argus leader. They didn't have anybody on their team that ever been in a final. You guys have all been here before and won it. Yet it seemed like you guys were, I don't know, maybe forcing things or a little nervous early on. Did you feel that way? That you guys just were playing a little out of character even though you're used to the situation?
Yeah, I think so. You know, we struggled defensively, just, you know, made some errors, I guess, and, you know, offensively struggled there too, you know, just didn't pass the ball as well as we needed to, and, but, you know, I guess we talked about before the game just how we kind of had some experience, but I just really didn't look like that the first half, but I think the second half, you know, it showed, you know, I thought we kept our composure and our poise in the tough moments of the game and made the big plays.
Let's go to the third row.
For that bottom WXW radio, Jill, can you walk us through that last sequence with the foul and the free throws?
Yeah, you know, I guess I don't think I've ever caught the ball on the out-of-bounds play right there, but, you know, I thought I would maybe get a chance to get a bucket and just back in there and try and draw a foul, and I was able to do that, and, you know, just had to go to line of confidence. You know, I've shot a lot of free throws, I guess, in my life over the last 23 years, and so there definitely wasn't any, you know, doubt or hesitation in my mind. I just knew I had to go up there and think they were going in.
Matt Zimmer, Argus leader. Jill and Jenny both as seniors, when you came to South Dakota State, did you think there was a possibility of playing in 4 NCAA tournaments?
You know, there definitely is a possibility. I couldn't say I would have thought of that. I guess I'm kind of speechless right now. But you know, our program has enhanced every single year since I've been here as a freshman, and it's just exciting to see what the future has in store for South Dakota State.
Yeah, you know, I guess I didn't really think, you know, 4 years in advance or 5 years in advance for me at the time, but just looking back, it's just, you know, every year's special. Like they just said, you know, every team's different, and you know, so this one definitely means just as much as, you know, the other 3. And to be able to do that as a senior and just kind of enter my career in South Dakota, just playing here my whole life, it was, you know, it's a really fun game to be a part of.
Jill, as a senior, to have that opportunity at the end of the game to have the ball in your hands, and basically the season and your career sort of on the line, you seem like you've played enough big games where you can handle that, but was that a moment you appreciate the ball being in your hands at that time?
Yeah, you know, I guess definitely didn't want to, you know, give up the opportunity. You know, since I didn't get the ball, you know, I thought I was going to go for it, and it worked out that I got fouled. You know, I think, you know, those are the moments that you know, work for, and you know, just put all that hard work in for it, and it's definitely worth it.
Ashley, you guys came out a lot like you did at Kansas City. Started the second half really hot, a lot of intensity and energy. What was the key to that? What sort of adjustments did you guys make, whether physically or mentally?
Coming into the half, obviously we had a little bit of momentum. We finally, made a couple shots. And so we talked about at halftime just coming out, making sure we do what we need to do on offense and take shots that we normally do and really just get the looks that we practice and be able to move the ball on offense. Defensively, we need to just get stops. We had to lock down a little bit more, and that would really help us with our offense.
Jill, you're currently sitting with 301 career three-pointers. You're tied with Rosie from IPFW for the all-time Summit League record. How do you feel about that, knowing that you're in elite company right there?
Yeah, I guess it's special to be a part of. It's not really on the forefront of my mind right now. I'm much happier about the game that we just won, but I don't know, I guess, credit goes to just my teammates the last 4 years that I've played with, and yeah, I guess, I'm honored to be there.
Should have won with a three-pointer instead of free throws.
We can take one or two more questions for the student athletes. Second round.
Jenny, does the fact that you won this game in such a tense fashion that it went right down to the wire and you actually looked in danger of losing at times make it a little more special? Is this maybe more emotional than some of the other Summit League championship games because of that?
2 years ago we won in overtime against Oral Roberts, and that was pretty emotional as well. And yeah, I would say that it just coming down to the wire and last second shot, it's critical, and you practice those all throughout the season, and just have confidence in yourself. Like knowing Jill, we know she's a great free throw shooter, and she's gonna knock those down, and not to put pressure on her or anything, but game was on the line, so. No, we practice these, and it's just fun to pull it off.
One more question here in front. Ashley, just the fact that the men are also in the championship game, did that add to the environment? This sort of a South Dakota State thing, not just a South Dakota State women thing? I mean, usually it's just you guys carrying the mantle, and now it's more of a university-wide type deal.
Yeah, I mean, our guys team is playing really well this year. They've got a really good team, and definitely just for our Jacks fans, SDSU supporters, it really makes it a lot more special for them, and just to be able to be part of, both the men and the women's side. So it's definitely very exciting for everyone.
Anything else for the student athletes? Okay, thanks ladies, and congratulations. Continue with questions for Coach Johnson, second row.
There were 2 times today where the ball is in the air, and if it goes in, you're done, and the streak ends, and that kind of thing. And you've had that in this situation before. Your thoughts on how you just kind of keep finding ways, acknowledging everybody's a little different, but you just keep finding ways to win these games in unconventional fashion a lot of times.
Yeah, well, the close games always, you have that threat. There's also probably 3 times the ball's in the air. If we make a shot, it's over the other way. And that's usually what those games come down to. Jill's getting to the free throw line there at the end. We had a play. It was more for Jenny, and Jill's player really helped. And Jill was open, caught it in the spot that she said we haven't run a lot of things there for her, but she was open, got it, made a heady play. And I don't think there's anybody on our team who'd feel more comfortable shooting free throws in that situation. I thought we ran some good sets down the stretch. It's just hard to get the ball inside. They really did a good job with just doubling and sagging off of a couple of our players, and it was difficult to give Jenny a lot of touches in that first half. Second half we did better, much better. We changed a couple of things up, and we got her some touches, and she was much better there too. But close games always come down to a couple shots. We could have made a couple and pushed our lead. They could have made a couple to win the game.
Coach Marcus Traxler, SDSU Collegian. What was the message at halftime, even though you had cut it to 9, but they dominated most of the first half?
They dominated all of the first half. The last probably 3 minutes, I think we were on an 11-3 run, something like that, 10-3, or without that run, we certainly don't come back. Jill hit a couple of threes right there. Gabby had a 3 late at the basically around the buzzer. Without that run at the end of the first half, we certainly don't win the game. Second half, we just did, and I thought, one person that isn't going to get a lot of credit here, but Leah deserves a lot of credit. Second half, we just said, run to the basket. No one is guarding. Run to the basket. And as easy as that sounds, she got a couple of layups out of the deal, just because they were so concerned with Jenny. She hasn't gotten probably enough credit for this particular game, and someone's never been a big offensive player, but she had 9 points, and probably the biggest 9 points of her season so far.
Coach, loose step last game. Tara steps in, finished with 12, I think. Your thoughts on how she handled your second career start?
I thought she really kind of let it go in a good way in the second half. First half, I thought she was a little bit tight, not so much because of start, but she hyperextended her knee in the game the other day too. So a lot of people saw her looking great, so she wasn't 100% by any means. Hit a big shot, big three, second half, had a driving layup in overtime, if I remember right. She played great. We've got a lot of confidence in Tara too. Gabby continues to play better. Rachel, I thought, had a really solid game. So as Steph went down, we were able to plug people in. People that watch us a lot know we don't change things. So they're pretty comfortable in our offense and defense. And they all three of those perimeter players, Tara, Gabby, and Rachel, made a lot of plays.
Coach, the legacy of your seniors taking you to 4 NCAA tournaments. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, legacy is a great word for those seniors. 4 times. That is unbelievable. I just don't think it's really easy to describe how difficult it is to get to an NCAA tournament, and to get to 4 is just almost unbelievable. These games are so pressure-packed, and we've had some where we've kind of gotten the lead and been able to hold it, but we've had others in this tournament that could have gone either way. Tonight's a good example of that. And to find ways to come out on top really has a lot to do with Jill, has a lot to do with Jenny. I just thought those two were really good tonight for us.
Coach, can you talk about what you guys drew up for the last play when Hall Jones takes it the whole way? Is that kind of what you would imagine? And maybe the idea she might not have drawn the foul. She might have drew the foul.
From my end, it's so hard to tell if it was a foul or not a foul, so I wouldn't make any comment on that. We knew she was going to get the ball. We talked about trying to shove her more towards her left, to be honest with you. I think there was a little bit of confusion between Ashley and Gabby how they're going to get that done, and we didn't obviously relay that maybe the way we wanted. But Tara made a really heady play. We really talked about everybody else commit to getting the ball out of her hands, so she'll be able to scramble. And she made a really aggressive play to the basket. And without having seen it yet, I don't really know what came of it other than seeing the shot.
AJ, we've talked a lot about how the crowd helps in a lot of ways. Does it help down the stretch too with officiating calls, perhaps? I mean, the refs sort of get caught up in all the euphoria because one call in your way and the other one did not go their way.
Yeah, I think they're both really different plays. I don't know that it was an equal thing where it'd be a complaint one or the other type of thing. I think they're very different plays. I don't know that the crowd would make a difference in that or not. There were times where I thought we could have been at the free throw line in that regulation too. So it's just the way it works out. I think at the end of the day, there weren't a lot of calls that you could really look at one way or the other. The last shot, obviously, is one that we're focused on, but I thought it was a pretty consistent game.
Anything else for Coach?